Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lacquer Lover, and today I'm going to be swatching and reviewing China Glaze's Spring 2021 collection. This collection has 8 polishes and it is called Cali Dreams, inspired by California and spring break. So you can see we have a lot of pastels, some very vibrant and bright shades, and so this is very typical for this season, and I thought that was actually very unique because so far we've been seeing a lot of spring collections that have like darker or mid-tone dusty muted colors, but this one just kind of screams your typical spring shades. And if you are looking for a pastel fix, I think this would be a good one, and I'm just really excited to show you guys what they look like on my nails, and I'm excited to share my thoughts with you guys. So without further ado, let's get started with the swatches. I'm starting with base coat underneath all of my swatches to protect my natural nails. I'll be swatching these in the order of the categorical numbers, so I'm starting with this slightly neon pastel orange called Tangerine Heat. This is an orange with a bit of yellow in there, and it has this very bright quality that you'll see on my nails shortly. So I'm going with my first coat of Tangerine Heat, and you can see that it's pretty good so far. It's going on smooth, it's not clumping or giving me too much trouble. I mean, the brush is just gliding on, and I do thicker coats and there are a lot of bubbles, mostly because of that, and also because I think I shook it a bit. But anyways, that is the first coat. A lot of bald spots, so I went in with the second and that covered up most of them, but actually the second coat was not enough, and I still had like half of my nail bare, kind of like if I held it up to the light. So I went in with a third coat, and that was pretty much the deal breaker. Like, I don't want to be doing 3 coats, and they're really thick too, so these would take forever to dry, and no one has time for that. So unless you really love this color, I mean, maybe skip it. This is 3 coats of Tangerine Heat, and I do feel like China Glaze recycles this kind of color a lot. They have this polish called None of Your Risky Business, and it's pretty much this color, but it has less white. This one is more pastel than that one, so you know, there are a lot of neon pastel oranges out there, and this formula is not the greatest, so maybe check those out if you love this color, but otherwise I would say skip this one. And next, I'm going to be swatching the other orange in this collection called Sunny You Should Ask. I thought this would be a true orange, but it turned out to be more of a burnt orange, kind of like a rusty one or a terracotta shade. So this is the first coat of Sunny You Should Ask, and I think once I got it on my nails, it pulled out even more of the brown, so it wasn't as bright or fun as I thought it would be. It was pretty dull, and I thought this would fit more for fall actually, so there was that. But I'm going in with the second coat because it did have bare spots and patchiness, and actually the second coat did fix all those problems, and I was able to leave it at that. This is 2 coats of Sunny You Should Ask. The color is not what I expected when I saw it online, but it's still good in terms of the formula, so I would say if you don't have kind of like a deeper, richer orange, then this is a good one to get, and maybe if you kind of play around with it, you can still make it appear brighter than it actually is. The next polish I'm swatching is kind of a pinky peachy nude polish called VACAY Dreams, and this is definitely one of my favorite kind of polishes. I think it works really well against all kinds of skin tones, and it's just more of a fun nude. So this is the first coat of VACAY Dreams, and right off the bat it is perfect for springtime. I feel like this would be really good for weddings too, because it's just a nice pop of color, but it's not too bright, and it definitely should match a lot of outfits and again a lot of skin tones. This is not the most unique color, but I think it's pretty good with this formula, so if you don't have any kind of pinky corally salmony shade, then this is a good one to get. This is 2 coats of VACAY Dreams. It was really easy to work with, and the color is just so beautiful, so I highly recommend this one. The next polish is called Sunset Crew, and it is kind of a mid-tone, deeper, darker, pinky coral polish. This is the first coat of Sunset Crew, and the formula is really nice to work with. I actually felt like it had this kind of jelly or crelly feel to it. It was really shiny, very glossy, and it had really good coverage. I just needed a second coat and I was done. So that was really surprising, and I just really love the finished product, and I think it just made my hands, my nails look so nice, and I would totally wear this one more throughout the year. This is 2 coats of Sunset Crew. I feel like Sunset Crew and the previous polish are kind of similar in, color tone, but this one is my favorite between the two, just because I love how vibrant and saturated it is, and the formula was a little bit easier to work with. The next polish I'm swatching is this warm beige taupe polish called I'm No Tourist. This is the first coat of I'm No Tourist. You can see it's pretty warm and the coverage is pretty good. It actually reminds me of the formula on VACAY Dreams. It's pretty similar in kind of how light it is, and it also went on pretty much buttery smooth, and I just needed a second coat to cover up my kind of streaks and patches, and yeah, it was not too hard to work with, so I really enjoyed it. So this is 2 coats of I'm No Tourist, and I actually love how this polish looks on my nails. I think it looks really good in the swatch photo, and I think this is just super easy to wear throughout the year because it's one of those kind of more subdued, like boring and neutral or nude polishes. And the next polish I'm swatching is this beautiful pastel periwinkle shade called Surfside Skies. It's super light and leans very blue, but if you do put a true blue polish next to it, you can see the little bit of purple that's mixed in. So this is the first coat of Surfside Skies. Again, I had a lot of polish on my brush, but I had good coverage. Pretty good. I just had a few bald spots, and I do think that's because the formulas on all of these are pretty thin. So even as you're spreading it around, if you put a little bit more pressure just in one spot, you'll obviously pick up all that polish, and that will leave you with a bare spot. So you want to be very light-handed with your brush and just glide it over. So that is 2 coats of Surfside Skies. Overall, this is a nice polish to have. Again, I think this would be really nice for a wedding, and it's not too out there even though it is a bluish purple shade, and I definitely think that you can wear this a lot throughout the year. And the next polish I'm swatching is the mint polish, the quintessential mint polish for this time of the year. It is called Live in the Moment, and I am living for this fun name. This is the first coat of Live in the Moment. The formula on this one was a little bit different, and I think it was because it's a little dried out from transit. So I think it was this bottle that was slightly open and it spilled a little bit in the bottleneck, and I had to clean it before I filmed this video just because I wanted to prevent the polish from drying out even further, and that was disappointing because I feel like this had potential to be a really good polish, but even then this formula was pretty similar to Tangerine Heat, so with like that added thickness it was really difficult to work with and it would just take forever to dry. This is 2 coats of Live in the Moment. I'm not a huge fan of mint polishes because of their typical chalky formula, and while this one didn't have a chalky formula, it just was really thick and annoying to work with. So I mean, while mint polishes can look nice on a lot of skin tones, I think that you should look for one with a better formula so you are not just getting super annoyed and dreading painting all those layers on and waiting for them to dry. And the last polish I'm swatching is this blue polish called Sure Feels Good. It is a lot darker than Live in the Moment, so if you're looking for a true blue fix, then this one is the one for you. This is the first coat of Sure Feels Good, and right off the bat you can see that it has a similar formula to Sunset Crew. It has that kind of jelly or squishy feel to it, which I really enjoy, and I think it looks just a lot cleaner and the colors are just a lot glossier and shinier, which I love. And this is just the second coat of Sure Feels Good, and I'm already done because the coverage is so good. This is 2 coats of Sure Feels Good, and it is just such a perfect blue. It is so bright and fun. It reminds me of water, and I think this would be really nice in summer nail art or just to wear it as a solid color manicure. And it's just so nice. I really recommend this one. It is definitely one of my favorites, and we are ending this video on a good note. So this was my swatch and review of China Glaze's Spring 2021 Cali Dreams collection. So these colors look really nice, and I was super excited about getting them on my nails until I had to deal with the formulas. And this video actually took me a while to film just because I had to add all those layers and the formulas just weren't really working the way I wanted them to. Overall, I am not a fan of this collection, but I was still able to rank them. So I do have Sunset Crew and Sure About You as my favorites because I really like vibrant colors, and the formulas for these two were the easiest to work with out of all of these. And then I kind of just put the ones that I thought I would be able to wear pretty often in the middle, and then the last few, those were just so hard to work with that I almost never want to put back on my nails, even though I do like the colors. You can take my review with a grain of salt. It's ultimately up to you whether or not you want to deal with the formulas. That's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!